Welcome, everybody, to the College Basketball Preview Show on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster. Today, we're going to look at the Big Ten battle between the Indiana Hoosiers as they host the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. If you want to bet on this Big Ten game, go check out BetMGM, the top sportsbook for betting on college basketball. You can click on the link in the description down below. All right, guys, Indiana and Rutgers are two teams that I think expected to have better starts than what they have. I know Indiana's 10-3, but the only good teams they played blew their doors off, Louisville and Gonzaga. The rest of their schedule has been so weak that the Indiana football team's strength of schedule looks strong compared to it. You got Rutgers, who had one of the top recruiting classes, including Dylan Harper. They have not really rounded out into what we thought they would be either. They lost to Princeton a couple of weeks ago. All right, so when we look at this game, Indiana is favored by 5.5 points. That is probably directly a correlation of being played at Simon Scott's Assembly Hall. And in the Big Ten, home court does matter. This game's scheduled to start at 8:30 tonight, and it will be on Peacock, which will make everybody in the world lose their mind because then they got to pay a couple more dollars to see an Indiana game. But I digress. Let's look at Rutgers, and they do have a special freshman. Triple doubles have now become commonplace in the NBA with the increased pace of play, longer game than a college game. But the Rutgers Scarlet Knights starting freshman Dylan Harper just recorded the first triple double for Rutgers since 1983, going for 16 points, 12 assists, and 11 rebounds in a win over Columbia. Rutgers is 1-1 in Big Ten play. They lost on the road to Ohio State, but picked up a good home victory against a good Penn State team. Rutgers is led by their freshman, who may only be around for a season. Currently places like Bleacher Report have Dylan Harper going as the second overall pick in the draft. Ace Bailey right behind him at third. Harper is coming off his triple double. He has a 6'6" guard scoring 23 points a game. He's fourth in the nation in scoring and is the top outside shooter or top shooter on Rutgers with 25 made threes, shoots 37% from outside. The other star freshman is Ace Bailey. He is an athletic 6'10" forward with guard skills who adds another 18.2 points per game. So this team gets most of their scoring from two guys, and there's a big drop off after the two freshmen. Next up is 6'4" senior guard Jeremiah Williams, who gets 7.8 points per game. Rutgers ranks 75th out of 364 Division I teams, according to Ken Pom. They are 66 at offensive efficiency and 97 at defensive efficiency. We look at Indiana. The Hoosiers have won six of 7. They fell out of the top 25 in that time because they're not beating anybody, and they're struggling with almost everybody they're playing. Against Winthrop, they had issues. Against everybody, they've had issues. Indiana has a balanced attack with 4 scorers scoring between 11 and 15 points per game. You got Miles Rice, a 6'3" sophomore guard who averages 11 and 3. Rice played last season with Washington State, where he was dropping 15 as a redshirt freshman. He is now a starter in the backcourt for the Hoosiers. Their top scorer is Malik Renew, 6'9", 230 power forward, averaging 15 points, 7 rebounds a game. Their top outside shooter so far this year has been Mackenzie Mbako. The 6'9" sophomore has 21 made threes on 41.2% shooting for the outside. Umar Ballo transferred from Arizona over the summer. He is 7 foot, 265, scores 12 points a game, and likes to go to bars the night before a game. And he's gained a lot of weight, so he's committed. All right, when we look at this game, Rutgers has 2 very talented young freshmen. May have the 2 best players on the court. But after that, the talent level takes a steep drop. Indiana's much deeper. They will be more physical in the paint. The Hoosiers are at home in this one, which can mean a lot in conference play. Indiana lost on the road bad to Nebraska, but won at home against Minnesota. Similarly, Rutgers did the same thing. They lost to Ohio State, and they won at home against Penn State. Playing at home is not the only reason Indiana should win this game. The biggest factor on the court will be size and strength. With Balu, Renew, this is a huge team up front. Ace Bailey cannot guard both of them, especially considering he plays more like a guard than a center. Bailey will have to contend with M'Baku on the outside, as both wing players have size and strength. Rutgers recently lost to Princeton. The freshmen did not have enough to win this game, I wouldn't think. My only question is, with the Umar Ballo problems, the being at a bar the night before the game, getting suspended for no Winthrop game. It looks like if you're Coach Mike Woodson and you want to have a bigger impact, maybe you suspend him for this game. And the sad thing was when you watch Ballo on the sideline in the last game when he was suspended, hell, he seemed to be laughing and having more fun than the guys that were playing. There's a lot of questions at Indiana, and all those questions go with head coach Mike Woodson. That makes any game you're betting the Indiana Hoosiers a risky situation. But with that said, this is a game they must win because really, I don't see the Hoosiers going above 500 during the Big Ten. So if you want to get the 7 Big Ten wins and make an NIT berth, you have to beat the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. I think Indiana will beat Rutgers tonight. I think they'll cover the 5.5 points. I would not put a lot of money on this game, though. That's how much it concerns me with Mike Woodson being the head coach at Indiana. Things are going to get a lot rougher after this for the Hoosiers. We'll see where it goes, but this is a must-win game tonight for Indiana. Go to BetMGM, bet the Hoosiers minus 5.5 points, and hope they show up to play, and hope they don't have 10 minutes where they can't score, and hope Dylan Harper doesn't go off for just like 700 points. All right, guys, make sure you check out BetMGM. You can click it on the link in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you'll follow us on X at Grueling Truth. But for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.